Welcome to Desrose Radio.
Okay, I just read this article. Australian woman arrested over Facebook photo. She was arrested for posting an image on Facebook of a vehicle blocking two disabled car spots at her apartment block. She was arrested and jailed for writing bad words on social media, an Australian Broadcasting Corporation reported on Tuesday. 39-year-old artist was found guilty at a trial last month. They were about to put me in a male lockup, and then they turned me away, and no one knows what to do with me. No one is talking to me. No one is telling me what is going on. I've been driving around literally for 4 hours. What? Okay, so I guess Australia is cracking down on Facebook pictures. I know it's hard to sometimes relax. I mean, it's hard for me too. But I tried different things. Like, I'm supposed to meditate. But every time I meditate, I fall asleep. So I guess technically it works. It technically works. You're supposed to, there are actually, on YouTube, there are videos that go for 8 full hours with relaxing meditation music. Like, you could get rainfall, ocean, different, forest animals howling and stuff like that. And what you're supposed to do is just relax, put on like a scented candle, but I wouldn't suggest it. Like, put on an incense or sage or something, because a candle, if you do it wrong and you fall asleep, you can catch your house on fire. And then you just relax and put yourself, like, you start envisioning that you're splashing in the ocean and things like that, and you're supposed to just travel outside of yourself. And what it does is your body goes into like a numbness. Your body's supposed to just go limp, and it's supposed to be really relaxed. But every time I do it, I fall asleep. I fall asleep. But see, it must have worked, right? You can actually get your mind, like, if you can get yourself in that state, it's almost like a self-hypnosis. So, like, if you're trying to heal your body, you start picturing your body, like, from your toes moving all the way up to your head, the organs, and what it does, your brain is focusing on that organ or that area of your body, and it releases something to where the cells and everything work together in that area. You could do it, and you could, like, that's part of the self-healing thing. But you got to be very, very self-aware and very focused for that. I mean, people have done that. Monks have done that for centuries. I know somebody would say it's a myth, but technically it's not, because people have done this for centuries outside of modern society, and it's worked, So there's a way to do it. I could just never do it. Like, I try to do it, and I'm like, I'm going to be the most powerful woman on earth. I'm going to be so powerful, and I'm going to go out and get everything I want and stuff like that. Like, I tried to do that. It didn't work. But you could do it for, like, weight loss. Like, when you exercise and stuff, like, here's what they tell you. When you're let's say, and you're focused, you're working your thighs, and you focus on your thighs, and you look at your thighs while you're working out, and you're focused. It actually helps because you're sending the brain chemical stuff to that area. It works better than if you're just on there and just ignoring your body and focusing somewhere else. I don't know what you call that, but it is real, because the brain distributes everything, So for stress, like, the more you focus on the pain and the stress, the worse it gets. Like, okay, let me use my leg for example. I didn't want to take the pain medicine at the time, and I realized when you're in pain, it was more painful and more painful. But when I took the pain medicine, I didn't feel the pain, so my brain wasn't sending pain signals to the leg, and it was actually healing faster. I can't focus. I mean, I have a hard time focusing, which is why I do my arts and crafts. And that's the only time I focus. That's the only time my mind is still. Even though I'm having all these ideas, while I'm doing it, it just calms me so much. But that's something because it's a visual, it's something I have to do, and it's visual. So I have to have both, you know. But if I lay down and try to meditate, then it's good though. At least that's. But then I'll get like crazy dreams. Like that one. Okay, I told this story before, but maybe no one's heard it. Like the one with the wolf. And that's the one, that was probably my most spiritual kind of thing. It was kind of like the link that Celtic just gave me. And it was forest, right? And I started falling asleep, and all of a sudden I could feel my heartbeat. Like, and it didn't dawn on me what was happening, and I was like, and then I could feel like the warm air hitting my face, like my breathing was so hot. And then suddenly I was envisioning I was running through the forest really fast, like just running. And then it dawned on me that I was a wolf, you know, and I was like, I was a wolf in every way, and I was just going through the thing, and I realized I was a wolf, but I realized it without realizing I was human, and then as soon as I realized that I was human and imagining it, I woke up. I was like, what the hell? I was pissed. So I tried to get back in there. It never happened to me again. But I think that was the most in-depth vision or experience I ever had, because I was a wolf running through the forest, and it was like I could feel my legs, my heartbeat, the smell, you know, whatever it was I was chasing, and I was just dodging these trees, and I was running so fast, you know, and that was probably the most awesome experience like that I ever had in my life. It was that same year, like that year I was running into a lot of animal things, like I was driving back from Ventura, and I was almost home, and it was super, super foggy. And then out of the blue, right in front of my car, there was this big white thing. I was like, what is that? And I started slowing down because I couldn't see the road, and it was a huge white owl just sitting there, staring at me on the road. And so I stopped the car, and it was just staring at me, and then it flew away. And then, you know, of course, I got home. A few weeks later, I was in my backyard, and we had like a hot tub that we used it like a pool because it was so hot, you know. I was out there, and I was upset. I don't know what it was. I was really upset about something. Like, I waited for the kids to go to sleep, and I walked out in the backyard, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I was just standing there, and I was like 1 foot away from our fence, and I don't know why I was standing by the fence. Then all of a sudden, this huge white owl flew right in front of me and landed right in front of my face, just staring at me. And I just stared at it for a while until it flew off. And then I got freaked out. I'm like, okay, white owls mean death. You know, for some reason, that's what I thought it was. I don't know. I ran into other white owls for a while, and then finally I talked to this lady. She goes, no, that's your spirit. That's your totem, like your spirit animal. And I was like, oh, you know, so I have the wolf and the white owl. Yeah, I mean, I know it's kind of probably difficult to hear when you're battling an illness, you know, especially for anybody who's battling like a severe illness or, you know, but there's something to it. It's almost no different than people talking about praying. You know, it's something about quieting your spirit, it's finding peace. And I think that's the difference between people who don't believe in this or even try it. They don't have a peace. And then people who do have a peace. You know, that's the difference. It's people with peace and without peace. And it's like no matter what happens to you on the outside, if you have that peace, it carries you through all that. Because sometimes when you don't have peace and you have negative thoughts and all that, your cells and your brain and everything responds to it. So if you feel and you're focusing on being sick, your body's going to get more sick. You know, so I don't know how to explain it, but you're actually battling it from within moving out. So it's like, yeah, and when you put it together, make sure, be authentic, okay? Be authentic. Look at it, like, kind of research it a little bit, because like Celtic was posting, certain music can go to certain areas of the body. Like, my thing with art would be color therapy, and that was like my final thing that I used. And the colors go for certain areas. So let's say if somebody really wanted to, they do color therapy, I think, in, somebody said like Denmark or Finland or one of those countries, they do a color therapy. But you put the light, you try to get a light bulb or do a light in that color. So there'll be like one color that's for the digestive system, another color that's for the heart, another color that's for your mind, to quiet your mind and stuff. And you're supposed to either stare at this color or glow under the color with the music and just relax. It's like color therapy. But it also goes with it, like the whole chakra thing, like Celtic posted, like the chakra things, it's different colors. It's really interesting. And, I think a lot of people are looking into it because, the healthcare, even with the free healthcare, people still fighting it here and there. People don't have that, can always go to doctors. So people are having to look for like alternative medicines for different things, or having to research on their own on the internet. But the reason I'm saying that for you, Angela, is because right now, okay, if you're battling something, use that. If that's where your weakness is right now, then use that, and that's where you get your strength. Because as you give out and you help other people, you're helping yourself too. And see, like martial arts is the same thing too. Martial arts, even though it's a physical activity, it's actually a spiritual activity, which is the same concept. So there's all kinds of ways that a person can do this. Like mine is through art. Somebody's could be through meditation, like the martial arts. It's the same thing. If you do Tai Chi, if you don't even know Tai Chi, there's who is that guy, Kung Fu guy? At the place I used to work, we made his videos for his Tai Chi. Sometimes you can find them on YouTube, and they're just 30-minute sessions, but just learn the moves and learn it a little bit, and something like that could be a total meditation. People working out at the gym, they're focused. You're focused on a body part. You're focusing on, an area to heal and stuff like that, and it's all the same concept. People who swim, all these different things, writing. I mean, there's just so many outlets. And that's what makes me so mad. They take the arts out of the school, which has made our society sick. Okay, this is my belief. But the fact that they worked so hard in the past years to take the arts out of school, this is why our society's sick. And a lot of people don't know how to do this they have no idea. Not only for possible income that they can create for themselves, but just to feel okay. So now you got a society that's counting on, the medications. They're counting on someone to hand them a job. They're counting on all these things because they can't do it themselves, because they took the critical thinking out of the school system. Don't even get me started on this rant. I know exactly what I'm saying. It's not coming out right, but